it's finally time for my classroom tour video, and I'm especially excited about this video because this is the first time I've done a collaboration. So I'm doing a collaboration with Tina Bietler. I will link her channel down below and she'll have her classroom tour. She's really good at stuff like that. She teaches 4th grade, and so she has everything done like really cute in her classroom. She has a lot of good teacher videos as far as like organization and how to set things up. She also does some really interesting vlogs. I don't really have any vlogs on my channel besides the behind the scenes at the Lion King one. Maybe I'll get a little more into that one day, but one of my favorite videos of hers is she vlogs the day before school starts, because that is always such a crazy day. So she just kind of takes you behind the scenes, like what is it like the day before school starts for a teacher. And she's also a mom, so she like goes to the grocery store and she's got to stock up on food for lunches and food for dinner for the entire week and get the laundry done and set out clothes for the week. All on top of like planning and stuff, of course, too. She just kind of shows you how it's done. And I always like watching like mommy videos and vlogs, even though I'm not a mom yet. But it's kind of nice to watch somebody in the stage like just ahead of you, so that you kind of get an idea of what to look forward to and what's coming next. So for me, I like watching videos of people who've been teaching a little bit longer than me. They have some more experience and I can kind of learn from what they share. So anyway, go check out her channel as soon as you're done watching this video. Okay, so part of the reason why it took me so long to like film my classroom tour is because I just felt like my room was never ready. You know how like you don't want to have people over until like you've got everything decorated and everything's clean, but then you'll just never end up having people over. So that's kind of how it is with this video. So there are things in my classroom that are not done. Specifically, my classroom library is a hot mess. That thing is a disaster. I need some advice actually about how to set up the classroom library. Like, I don't really have books like grouped in any order, but it's because like some books are mine, like my personal books from home. Some books are ones that I don't even know how they got there. Some books are these ones that we just get to keep in our classroom for a semester and then we have to switch them out later. So I try and like keep those all separate, but it doesn't really work. Some are more like history books, some are English books, I don't know. I just have a disaster of a classroom library. My classroom is a little more set up for like function than, you know, style or cuteness. I teach middle school. I've got 8th graders and 6th graders, so I don't have like a theme for my classroom besides just some common colors throughout the room. It's more set up for function and keeping me sane. So after you see it, let me know if this is like helpful to you at all, or if you have any ideas for my classroom, things that I could fix or change. Alright, so let's just get on with it. Without further ado, here's my classroom tour. Hi guys, welcome to my classroom. I'm upstairs. You can see this is the 2nd floor, and here's my door. I just moved into this classroom this year, so it's new to me. There is this group on campus of students and then a teacher who go around and they put just little inspirational notes on teachers' doors. Every week they pick a different teacher. So that was a Mariah Carey picture, of course. I was like, oh, where did you find that gorgeous picture of me on the internet? So pretty. Everyone knows I love Mariah Carey. So we go into my classroom. Here's what it looks like as you push your friend out of the way and cram through the door into my classroom. And then I tell you to not do that every single day. And here's the front of the room. Back to the door. I love those little lock block things. We just cut those this year. Does your school do those? This is my data wall. I love these little glasses. That's just from a calendar that I had from Paper Source. And I keep data right here. These are our Lexile levels for my 6th graders. We're trying to raise those throughout the year. This is my What Did We Do board. So if you are absent, you come look at this calendar. And the red is for English and the blue is for history, and you're not allowed to ask me, what did we do while I was gone? You have to go take responsibility for yourself and go look at the calendar and see what you missed. This is one of my favorite maps. I really like this map of the United States, and it just has little graphics that are kind of unique to every state. And then these are my expectations, and so I just feel like if I expect students to follow these, then I need to have them visible as reminders at the beginning or at the front of the room every day. This is my whiteboard, and so of course I have my objective. I always put it in student terms, like I will be able to, instead of like students will be able to, because they're the ones that need to do the work. And then I have a little agenda underneath that, like today this is just the stuff that we're going to get done. And then I have some space to write notes. This is my U.S. history section. Above that, I have some resources from the Reading Like a Historian website. It's kind of pointless, I guess, to have them up there. They're too hard to see, but sometimes I bring them down or refer to them. This is my smart board, or my dumb board, as I've been calling it lately. It's not been working, so I have a work order for it. This is my English side, and so again, I've got my objective and then just kind of our agenda for the day, the things that we're going to get done. A student drew me a little emoji. And this is actually a project that an honor student did my first year of teaching. She had to make a presidential scrapbook, and she did such a good job. This thing is amazing. It's got glitter, it's got facts, it's got pictures, and I just took it apart and use it as one big decoration. It goes all the way from George Washington to Barack Obama, and students love to see this. They think it's so cool, and they're so impressed that, somebody their age did it. So this is how I have my desks. Sometimes I just face them forward because I can't handle the kids being in groups anymore. Sometimes they just need to be facing forward. But then we can always just turn them to the side again and put them back in groups. And here is where you can tell which group you are in and what little sign you should be underneath. So I got these signs from Teachers Pay Teachers, laminated them, and just stuck them to my wall on a ribbon. So this is an example of like one group of 4. I don't squish the desks all the way together because then 2 kids are trapped. And I give them this little clear box with a Kagan manage mat on the top so we can do little group activities. And then these supplies they can use for any group work, and they don't have to be constantly getting up and, making a big mess. And I write the group numbers on each side with my Chalkola markers, but they've been scratching them off, so I need to restart those and do them over. And under every desk, I have a little pouch of just school supplies. So, sometimes kids sit there and don't do their work because they're like, oh, well, I don't have a pencil. I'm like, well, get one out of your pouch then. So they've got pens and pencils, highlighters, dry erase board markers, everything that they would need. And before the end of every period, I have to do a little thief check because there's always something missing. I haven't figured out how to solve that problem yet. I love having maps in my classroom, especially this one, this Native American nations, our own names and locations. As I teach U.S. history, it's very important for me to have that perspective of a map up. I love this Marcus Garvey quote, read history incessantly until you master it. That's what history is. It is reading. Sometimes kids don't realize that. So I like to have just the directions for any kind of a project that we're working on over here on this window. I like to cover as much of the window as I can. I need to put up another little poster or something because then it stops kids from looking in and looking out, and it's just a good place to hang things anyway. This is why we're here. Are you ready for college, career, and citizenship? That's what we're doing every single day. We're not here to socialize. We're not here to play around. We're here to prepare you for college and your career and to be a citizen of the United States, a productive citizen. This is all the stuff that we use on a fairly regular basis, but not every single day, and it annoys me to have it in those little pouches underneath the desk. So this is my quote wall. I do a quote wall every year, and I haven't written any quotes up here yet. I have some written down in a journal. I need to transfer them up here, but just funny things that the kids say, I like to just keep track of those, and it's fun. And then they always try and get on the quote wall. This is my banner of About Me banners the 6th graders did. I think I talked about that in a previous video. All of this stuff back here is from the previous teacher that was in this classroom. The sink doesn't work. I haven't found a use for all those binders, and there's a tech cart and some empty file cabinets, but eventually I'll find some use for that whole area back there. And this is just the view from the back of the room. It's actually a pretty big room, but when there's 36 kids in there, it doesn't feel quite as big. I'll use this bulletin board for student work. At the moment, I just have some little inspirational quotes that kids made last year, and I saved them and put them up. They looked really cute. And soon I'll be, putting up some current work there. And the previous teacher in this classroom had a lot of storage, so this was one cool thing to inherit. So I'm not much of a pack rat. I don't have a ton in here. I just have some art supplies. I like to have my own butcher paper because I have a specific color theme that I like to do, so I'm so picky. I have all my own little things in here. This closet is just kind of reference books for me, teaching reference books. I have some extra Worldly Wise books. And then these white posters down here are just charts, mostly for U.S. history. As I've gone throughout the years, I'll kind of make little informational charts, and I'll put them up on that window as we get to that section. So I just kind of save them in there. And then let's see, we've got my little Kleenex stash in here. All the kids have been sick. You can probably hear it in my voice. I'm kind of getting sick too. I just kind of keep random things in here. Mostly the Kleenex. And I usually have cup of noodles in there too, but I ate the last one. And then I don't even know what's in that box down there. This is my horrible library. It's so sad compared to like most people that do classroom tours. I have not figured out what to do with that thing yet. It's just like random books. And this is another Marcus Garvey quote. This is why we need to read. I study Caribbean history and Harlem Renaissance history, so me and Marcus Garvey are like BFFs. These are little Cougar Bucks deals. Like we have this little reading program, and I made this genie, this reading genie last year, and it used to say reading takes you to a whole new world, but I was just too lazy to put up the letters this year, so it's just a random genie reading a book. After we did Aladdin, I liked that. So here is where my TA sits. I have a TA second period, and I just have her put all of the work in alphabetical order, and that's so helpful to me. Like she doesn't have to grade it, she just puts it in alphabetical order, and then as I go put it in the computer, it's so much easier. This is where students turn in work. So I swear every single day someone asks me, where do I turn this in? And I'm like, under the sign that says turn in work. And it gives directions for how to turn things in. That's one of my syllabi, just as a reminder. And so underneath this sign is where you would turn in your work. So if you're in first period, second period, third period, or sixth period, this is where it goes. Fourth is my prep. Fifth is just like our reading time. And then seventh, I teach drama, and it's in a different room. So those are the only ones I have in here. If you need extra copies of something, if you were absent or if you lost something, you have to go check the calendar again if you're absent, and then complete and turn in your own work under the turn it in sign and write absent on it so I know not to take points off, because late work is only worth half credit. So in this orange crate is where all the English paperwork is. So if you missed like the all summer in a day and plot quiz or the 2-chunk paragraph outline or whatever, then you come back here and grab one. If you are U.S. history, you look in the blue crate. So if you missed the Iroquois Nation Day or the 13 Colonies Map Day or whatever, then you come back here and grab it yourself. And so that just kind of saves my sanity. Like they're not allowed to ask me like where stuff is or what they missed, because they can find it on their own. I have it all set up for them. After I grade their work, I put it over here. And if there's a no-name paper, my TA just puts it in the bottom drawer. And there's another syllabus. So I never see it. It never gets graded. If you don't put your name on it, then you don't get a grade. And so these things I need to return to first and second period. Here's the no-name drawer. So if a student has a 0 when they look up their grades online, then this is where they need to come check first, because 100% of the time, that is where it is. This is my little student computer. My TA uses it sometimes. She said that the printer doesn't work. I don't know. Somebody else set this up for me, and it's kind of a mess, so I never really use it. Down here, I just have boxes of lesson plans and worksheets. So this is some of my English stuff. And then in this box, I have a bunch of history stuff. I have a whole nother box of history stuff too, actually. I have more history curriculum because I've been doing that for longer. This bulletin board is not done. Like I need to do so much more to this, but these are my standards. And so I typed these up and I saw them on Teachers Pay Teachers if you're interested in these for like the Common Core standards. And then as we do a lesson that relates to that standard, I just jot it down. This is one of my favorite calendars from Paper Source, and it has little literary quotes and then a silhouette of that author. I think it's so cool. It's my Cal State Fullerton banner because I still go there. And last year the teachers did this little hero project thing, and we all talked about our heroes, and mine of course is Rothschild Francis, who I'm writing my 1,000,000-page thesis on, civil rights leader from the Virgin Islands. My students love this fabric poster of The Fault in Our Stars over in my corner. I think that's really cool too. And these binders are just full of lesson plans. The red, white, and blue ones are U.S. history, and then I have a bunch of ERWC modules, my Farewell to Manzanar stuff, and then just some other resources. Down here is just kind of a mess. I have my Senegalese drum that a student brought me from her trip last year, my sensi over there. And I just have like my purse and my lunchbox over here. I love having this tea kettle down here for tea, and then also like cup of noodle. And my phone. Don't you hate when your phone rings in class? I hate when that happens. I'm like, oh, can I just pretend I didn't hear it? And my printer. And this is my little like shrine to myself board, I guess. This is just like pictures that make me happy. So while I'm grading or lesson planning or something, I just like to look over here. It makes me happy. And this is my motto: you can never be overdressed or overeducated. And this is what I say to my students every day: pay attention with your face, and they need to look like that giraffe. And then occasionally I have to say, life is hard. It's harder if you're stupid. Not really. These are pictures of my husband. I love having those up. And then this like second row up here is pictures of my students that make me happy. And above that is like pictures of me and my friends. And then above that I have like family pictures, and then a whole row for my nieces. So I love looking over at this little wall. These are just like my Instagram pictures, and I printed them off from a site called Free Prints. They weren't actually free, but they're square. And I didn't bother to clean up my desk because it's never clean. Like, it will never be clean. So I always have papers everywhere, and like Post-its and my keys and cups and all kinds of stuff over here. Let's see, what do I have in these drawers? They're not super full yet because I haven't been in this classroom for very long. Here I have all the extra pens and pencils for when kids steal them. I've got some sugar and some tea so that I can drink my tea every day, and some granola bars. Those Snickers are for bribery. I've got some other tea back there. And then over on the other side, let's see, what do I even have? Oh yeah, this is just like some cute stuff, like my cute little Post-its and little notepads and stuff like that. And then all of my markers. I love Mr. Sketch markers and my Chocola markers, like having all different kinds at my disposal. And here I just have some raffle tickets, this little like Ninja Turtle ball. This is just kind of where all of the leftover things ended up. So this is my view of my classroom just from when I'm sitting at my desk. It's so nice and peaceful without any students in it, isn't it? And over here is like where I do a lot of my teaching from. So this is my document camera that's also been broken, but I think it'll work next week. And so this is helpful just when we're going over sources and stuff like that, especially for history. These are little book books I can use as prizes. I just use this table to lay out all of the different like worksheets and handouts that I have to give students every day. And whatever curriculum we happen to be on, like I've got all my lesson plans in these binders, particularly for U.S. history. So I just kind of flip through there and see what we need to do next. This clipboard has all of my seating charts on it. And so for every period, I just have all the kids' names and where they sit here. It's really helpful for subs, and it's helpful for me for taking roll. It goes by really quickly. So I just have the same setup in my classroom as is on the piece of paper. So that's pretty helpful. Down here, I really like these drawers. I made these, I think 2 years ago, and so I can put copies for each day of the week in these drawers, so Monday through Friday. So on Friday, for example, if I go just like make copies for the whole week, I don't have to just like deal with this gigantic pile that might fall over. I just put each of them in the drawers. And I think this day was Friday, so like all of the copies have been used up, and that's why they're all over my desk now. But that keeps things really nice and organized. And then when I just like come in the morning and like if I'm running late and I forget what we're doing, I just open the drawer and I'm like, oh yeah, okay, all my copies are done. There's my TV that serves no purpose except for that I bang my head on it every so often. And yeah, I wish they would take it out. So this is just another view of my classroom. I tried to make it nice and welcoming and just kind of functional for myself and for my students. I spend more time in my classroom than anywhere else, really, besides maybe like my bed, but I try and make it nice and appealing. And this little sign is just my reason for teaching: be the change that you wish to see in the world. I want to live in a world where people are educated and compassionate and smart and they can think critically, so I will take on the challenge to teach people to be that way. So thank you for coming into my classroom and taking my tour.